Hi, I'm Frank Abagnale. Most of you know me from the movie Catch Me If You Can.
The story of Frank Abagnale Jr., the charming chameleon. Frank William Abagnale Jr. was born in 1948 in Bronxville, New York. He didn't run a billion-dollar company or a massive Ponzi scheme. His scam was simpler, but legendary. He pretended to be whoever he needed to be, and the world believed him. A teenage mastermind. At just 16 years old, Frank ran away from home after his parents divorced. He had no money, but he was clever.
I was a 16-year-old boy who ran away from home and ended up on the streets of New York City and said, okay, how am I going to survive now? And I first realized that I can't survive as a 16-year-old. I have to have people believe I'm an adult. So, the first thing I did was
He started writing fake checks using his own bank account number and learned how to manipulate the banking system to get cash before the checks could bounce. Soon, he was forging checks so convincingly that even major banks couldn't tell they were fake. The Pan Am pilot scam. Frank realized that people trusted uniforms. So he forged a Pan American World Airways ID badge.
I walked down the street, I saw an airline crew come out of a hotel, and at first I thought to myself, if I could get one of these uniforms when I walk in a bank, they'll be much more apt to cash my check as this
Bought a
pilot.
pilot's uniform, and pretended to be a commercial airline pilot. With that disguise, he flew over 1 million miles on more than 250 flights, stayed at luxury hotels on Pan Am's account, and collected paychecks for work he never did. He called it deadheading, traveling for free in the cockpit jump seat. Everyone assumed he belonged there. The doctor and the lawyer. Not content with being just a pilot, Frank faked identities in multiple professions. He posed as a doctor in a Georgia hospital where he somehow supervised interns without hurting anyone. A lawyer in Louisiana after passing the state bar exam on his third try. And even a college professor, all before the age of 21. His confidence and quick thinking made him nearly impossible to catch. The chase. The FBI, led by Agent Carl Hanratty, portrayed by Tom Hanks in the film, eventually caught on to him. After a global manhunt, Abagnale was arrested in France in 1969, after years of living under false identities across 26 countries. He was imprisoned in France, Sweden, and later the US, serving about 5 years total before being released early. The redemption. After prison, the US government offered Frank a choice: stay in prison, or help the FBI catch other forgers. He chose the latter, using his skills to fight fraud. Frank went on to work with the FBI for decades and founded his own security consulting firm, Abagnale and Associates, helping banks and companies prevent fraud. His life story was later turned into the 2002 movie Catch Me If You Can. Be careful, and don't fall for it. Beware of scammers. Subscribe for more stories.